but.
I was wondering how much it is to buy it.
Oh, to buy them? I have no idea. eBay. Here's the way to start. I couldn't imagine if I would take up the bagpipes. I couldn't imagine it would hear me any more than my neighbors. And already I was. Oh, that's not a bad idea. I don't imagine endurance is a problem on the bike ride. Yeah, oh sure, yeah. Yeah, no, it's really common.
my seat is. Should I go? Should I do it again? The 128th Annual Commencement Exercises at Wagner College will open with America the Beautiful. Please join the vocal ensemble of graduating seniors here on the platform as they lead us in singing America the Beautiful. We also ask that you remain standing until after the invocation by Reverend Martin Malzahn. God bless America.
Wagner College was founded as a faith-based institution to educate young men to become Lutheran pastors. And very quickly, it also welcomed women and people from other denominations. Today, Wagner College prepares students for careers in a variety of fields, and its community is made of people of many faith traditions, as well as those without formal religious affiliation. The invocation blessing for the class of 2015 welcomes Buddhists and Christians, Hindus and humanists, Jews, Muslims, and all people of goodwill to receive blessings from their Creator. May activists be blessed as they fight for justice. May artists be blessed as they create beauty. May athletes be blessed as they achieve victory. May academics be blessed as they use their minds to solve problems. Bless those too who would binge watch Netflix, lay in the sun, and travel the world this summer. Bless families and friends, professors, priests, pundits, rabbis, imams, and all who instill knowledge and faith. May you care for your neighbor as you care for yourself. Congratulations and blessings to the class of 2015. Please be seated.
Welcome to the 128th commencement exercises of Wagner College. Thank you, Dr. Paula Trapello, for leading us as the faculty marshal, and thank you, Dr. Calvo, for your special role that you'll play in this commencement exercise. Today, your procession was led by 7 Golden Seahawks: Gloria Kumarian, Alsanian, William Christensen, Greta Davis, Brett Egley, Clifford Gerber, and Eugene Markham, and Brian Morris. Class of 1965, they took the same steps on this very oval today, 50 years ago. After your 4 challenging years, your special day of recognition has finally arrived. On behalf of the entire college community, we extend our congratulations and our admiration for all of your achievements, your leadership, and your service to the campus, to New York City, and to the nation. I welcome all of our parents, families, friends, distinguished guests, and members of our community. We have with us some of our very special supporters. Some have endowed scholarships and made gifts in support of your work at the college, and others give tirelessly to the efforts to extend the opportunities available to our students and to our faculty. I'd like to recognize them today for their efforts. From our Board of Trustees, Dr. Warren Prochi, class of 1968, and our chair, Dr. Stephen Aiello, Mary Caracappa, class of 1982, Aletta Diamond, who will receive an honorary degree today, class of 1965, Alex Fox, Ralph Green Jr., Mark Lebovitz, class of 1991, Lorraine McNeil Popper, class of 1978, John Myers, class of 1967, Joan Nicholas, Diane Powers, honorary co-chair of the Parents Association, and Maureen Robinson, class of 1967. Let's give them a round of applause for their efforts and commitment. You're an accomplished and an engaged class, one of the very best in Wagner's history. Your individual profiles illustrate a composite personality for the class of 2015, one marked by strong academic achievement, remarkable leadership, and a sustained commitment to public service and civic engagement. Many of you are recognized for your scholarly research or for presentations, for performances, civic leadership, athletic achievement. Many of you are celebrated for exceptional accomplishments across the campus, and all of you survived 2 historic hurricanes and 1 earthquake, demonstrating civic commitment to our neighbors by extending many helping hands to those Staten Islanders and New Yorkers who were badly hurt by Superstorm Sandy. All of us celebrate this glorious day with much joy for your accomplishments. You came to Wagner from different roads and for varied reasons. You represent 31 states and 8 countries. Most of you came from the traditional route from high school to college, seeking a welcoming place, an engaged campus, and of course, New York City. But some have arrived from different roads, such as Thomas Goodhart from Staten Island. Before coming to Wagner, Thomas served in the U.S. Marine Corps in Okinawa, Japan, and in the Marine Helicopter Squadron 262, known as the Flying Tigers, where he provided search and rescue support for a Philippine helicopter crash in 2009, and later provided relief for the tsunami victims that hit mainland Japan. Today, Thomas graduates with a double major in economics and finance, and after commencement, he intends a career in big data and is a certified financial analyst. Sandra McCalla is a first-generation American. Her family emigrated from Ecuador. While at Wagner, Sandra maintained a 4-year GPA of 3.95 in chemistry. While completing scientific fieldwork at the Mayo Clinic and publishing abstracts as a primary author at professional conferences such as the American Geological Society. Abir Mashal, another first-generation American, whose parents emigrated from Palestine. She truly represents a global leader while at Wagner, where her intelligence and her grit are present across the various cultures that populate Wagner and New York City. At Wagner, she became an impact scholar, president of the Muslim Student Association, a democracy coach with Generation Citizen working with high school students, a volunteer tutor with our Mexican immigrants on Staten Island and El Centro de Inmigrante. She received many special scholarships, not the least of which was from the Jewish Foundation for the Education of Women. She graduates today, and she will begin her next global assignment while teaching English and American culture in Madrid, Spain. And Christian Grotwald, who came to us from Guatemala in some small way because he loved Harry Potter novels and films. And when his Guatemalan high school counselor showed him Wagner on the website, Main Hall stuck out and he believed he was going to Hogwarts. At Wagner, he has been an excellent student in art administration, and as a leader in our Center for Intercultural Advancement, he's helped many other international students transition to Wagner and to New York City. Here is a smattering of notable examples of your class's academic achievements. Alexandria Satharthis, a business administration major from East Falmouth, Massachusetts, and a piccolo player in the Wagner Marching Band, was awarded the prestigious Fulbright Scholarship to study in South Korea and work as an English teaching assistant. Alexandria also participated in Wagner's neighborhood partnership with our local Mexican immigrant community, serving as a literacy tutor. Eden Stark, microbiology major, will attend Cornell University's veterinary school, and Maria Papanayo, a biology major with a minor in chemistry, will attend vet school at The Ohio State University. Samantha DiStefano will attend medical school at Virginia Tech, and while Carrie Razak, a chemistry major from Wichita, Kansas, will pursue her degree in osteopathic medicine. Several graduates will attend dental school. Caitlin Donovan, a math major, will matriculate at New York University. Mayor Musa will attend Faros University in Egypt, and Lynn Tay will attend the University of California at San Francisco. All Lynn did in her spare time was star on Wagner's superb Division I swimming team, serve as an international study abroad ambassador, work with Operation Smile, and maintain a 3.63 grade point average while majoring in chemistry and minoring in biology. Labardo Dominguez loves physics. A double major in physics and mathematics, he did remarkable research on ice formations on the surface pressure of airplane wings. While accumulating a 3.8 grade point average, Leobardo found time to tutor teenagers with learning disabilities at New Dorp High School on Staten Island. And after a year off, he'll pursue a PhD in physics. Another physics and mathematics major, Candace Day from Imperial Beach, California, will pursue her graduate work in aerospace engineering at San Diego State University. Candace, a member of Wagner's track and field team and a democracy coach at Generation Citizen, teaching high school students how to responsibly engage the current issues of our day. Others of you will attend law school. Ian Berkshausen at the University of Miami. Audriana Mikula Hansen at the University of New Hampshire. Kimberly Madden at Villanova. Monica Kaltsev, an English major from Troy, Michigan, will attend her law degree at Washington and Lee University. Monica wrote a fascinating honors thesis, and I had the privilege to read some of this, treating the integration of literature, opera, and film. A number of you will enter PhD programs. Caitlin Gallagher, a double major in psychology and sociology from Mystic, Connecticut, will attend DePaul University studying industrial organization. Ryan Gambino from Staten Island, an English and Spanish major, will pursue the doctorate in educational administration at New York University. Matt Kane, a psych major, will enroll at Seton Hall. Remarkable young man. Vicky Sun will enroll in a doctoral program at American University on American Foreign Policy. Cynthia Shaw, a psych major and an English minor with a 3.94 grade point average, who volunteered at the African Refuge Center on Staten Island and Make the Road, New York, will seek the PhD at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology. Michelle Grinoff from Davis, California, a chemistry major with minors in math and biology and a 3.6 grade point average, is a Division I athlete and the only Wagner student athlete to be a member of championship teams in 2 sports, swimming and water polo. She co-authored a scientific paper in the Journal of the American Chemical Society, completed internships at the Natural Science Foundation. Michelle also volunteered as a Special Olympics swim coach, and next year, Michelle will pursue her doctorate in molecular biology at Clemson University. A small army of you will pursue master's programs. Too many to chronicle here. Some examples are Allison Cooper from New Jersey, a psych major with minors in math and biology, will enroll in biostatistics program at Rutgers. Gianna Bruno will pursue a master's in social work at Columbia University, and she'll be joined at Columbia by Stephanie Pagano, Laurie Folkstrom, an honor student and psych major, will enroll at the New School and later pursue a PhD in clinical psychology. A large number of our business administration majors have acquired professional positions. They are exemplified by students such as Andrew Dunn, an accounting major, will begin his career at J.P. Morgan Chase, and he'll be joined there by Rachel Jurgowicz, who graduates as a 4-year member and senior captain of the women's tennis team. Rachel served as a key member of Wagner Cares, our student community service organization, which assisted so quickly to help our local families who suffered so acutely from the destruction of Superstorm Sandy. Brian Malley, a business major and a member of Wagner's football team. He'll begin his career in his home state of Alaska with British Petroleum. And Brian was a member of Wagner's highly competitive entrant, cited by The Economist magazine for their outstanding performance in an international business simulation competition. Some of you are heading in different directions. Annabella Cockrell from Blacklick, Ohio, double major in Spanish and elementary education, has been accepted in the Peace Corps with a placement in Kosovo. At Wagner, Bella studied abroad in Costa Rica, volunteered for the alternative spring break in Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and she was an important member of Wagner's neighborhood partnership in Port Richmond, working with our Mexican immigrants at El Centro de Migrante. Carolyn Haggerty, an economics and public policy major from Chapin, South Carolina, was also accepted to the Peace Corps, and she's been interning at the New York City's Office of Management and Budget, serving as a liaison to 59 separate community districts. She served as Vice President of Community Service for the Student Government Association and President of Wagner Cares. Some of you are starting your professional lives in the public arts and entertainment. Anna Huddle, an art history and French studies major from Fort Worth, Texas, will begin her postgraduate journey researching European paintings at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in Manhattan, and then on to Grenoble, France, to assist English classes. And Vai Tran, from Orange County, California, and a theater performance major, will set sail with Disney Cruise Lines and their entertainment company. Our Evelyn Spiro School of Nursing is only one of 17 programs out of 1,000 that is ranked by the National League of Nursing as a school of excellence. Today we graduate a number of students from as undergraduates and master's and second degree nursing cohorts. They represent the best in leadership and professionalism within healthcare. They are the best exemplified by Giacomina Ruggiero, who will join New York Presbyterian, and Lucia Catone, a second degree graduate who trained at Juilliard and performed for 10 years in musical theater before returning to school to serve others in different ways, and now at Richmond University Hospital locally in our Port Richmond neighborhood. Our nurses have completed critical service missions in rural areas of Mexico and locally as part of the Port Richmond Partnership on Staten Island, serving our underserved neighbors suffering from inadequate health care and chronic issues of diabetes, stress, and cancer. Our physician assistants are a remarkable group And the happy group, obviously, talented health professionals who have completed important medical missions of their own to Belize and to Guatemala, led by students such as Rick Leong and Jacqueline Simonson. Many of our PEAs are graduating and have accepted outstanding starts to health careers such as Nurius Mugaria, Zlatko Vermo, Carolyn Escobedo, all heading to Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan, and Kylie Tanabe, who will start a postgraduate surgical residency at Yale University. Our theater program, ranked #1 in the nation by Princeton Review, today graduates many highly talented students and young artists. To succeed in this program, students must develop self-discipline, strong commitment to the work, and layers of resiliency. This cohort of theater graduates are exemplified by students such as Lisa Ann Peterson from Milwaukee, Oregon, and Danielle James from Slickerville, New Jersey, who are awarded the department's Excellence in Performance, and by Dana Goff from Schenectady, New York, a remarkable dancer who completed an engaging honors project, and James Sheehan from Boston, Massachusetts, who designed over 24 programs in 4 years at Wagner and served as president of the college choir. He produced 2 benefit concerts for Broadway Cares Equity Fights AIDS, and in our closely allied Arts Administration program, we graduate wonderful students such as Domingo No from Sacramento, California, who, apart from her theater work and a resident assistant, founded the Heart and Soul Project, where she hand-painted custom shoes to advocate and raise funds to combat Marfan syndrome, a genetic disorder which causes heart defects, spinal cord disorders, and defects to the hard palate. Not to be outdone, many of you have excelled on the courts, in the fields, and in the pools as superb NCAA Division I athletes who have performed with excellence in the classroom and as civic leaders on our campus and in service to others. Wagner College graduates who are athletes who complete 4 years graduate at a rate of 92% with a cumulative grade point average of 3.24. Our Wagner Seahawks men basketball team graduates Marcus Burton from Charlotte, North Carolina, Dwayne Anderson from Michigan, and Hugo Norias from Nimes, France. They have given us many spectacular moments on the court, holding themselves up as high-performing athletes, fine students, and campus leaders. The Wagner College football team won 2 Northeast Conference championships in 3 years, marked by excellence of graduates such as Jarrett Dudion and Ralph Green III. Their civic leadership is characterized by Anthony Carrington and Jared Williams, who developed MOVE, Motivate, Overcome, Visualize, and Empower, to work with minority youth who are living in the shadows of poverty and removed from the menu of opportunities that would lead them to lives of achievement and fulfillment. Through their mentorship and belief in others, just maybe those children will make a road for themselves. And nationally, Phil Facone, who graduates with a sociology major and criminal justice concentration and with a 3.8 GPA, represents the overall leadership of this team by his selection as a member of the AFCA's All Good Works team and honored at halftime at the nationally televised Sugar Bowl. Our water polo team won 2 conference championships in 2 consecutive years, exemplified by the likes of Jessica Burge, a superb competitor and a 3-time all-conference and 2-time all-academic conference performer. Our women's lacrosse team played in the conference championship tournament in the last 2 years. And their overall excellence is characterized by Chantal Agnew, a biology major with a 3.85 grade point average. Our baseball team is fighting for a conference championship right today, and this year led by Trey Nicosia, an international affairs and business major with a double major with a 3.86 grade point average. All of these teams have founded ways to be civically engaged as well as responsible to their teammates and to their sport. Wow, what a profile. Sharing with you all of the accomplishments of our senior class with all of you over the past few moments makes it clear that its members leave an indelible mark on this campus. You set the Wagner College standard for civic leadership. You have a strong commitment to addressing the deep issues of inequity and opportunity that are lodged within local and global and educational health disparities. Your class reached out to those in our society who are marginalized and often invisible. Your work on Staten Island with neighborhood communities in Port Richmond, St. George, Park Hill is critically important to the lives of those all too often left behind. Your commitments in Haiti and Belize and Mexico and Bangladesh and many other global sites have paved the way to everyday solutions to what are often perceived as intractable challenges of poverty, ethnic and racial injustice, and environmental crisis. And you have worked in nonpartisan collaboration against all the ways you could have been divided, as you focused on solutions and chose not to settle for simple critiques and skepticism. You find the values of your class in the work of students such as Carrie Alexander and Heather Wolf, who will later be introduced in this program to speak to you directly. But let me leave you then with the stories of 3 students who are living the Wagner Plan and furthering the ideals and values that are so important to all of us and so exemplified by your class. Patricia Ann McCaffrey, a double major in history and education and minors in city studies and Spanish, graduates with a 3.7 grade point average. She will join Teach for America in Boston after commencement. Patty spent, listen to this, Patty spent the last 2 years coordinating a partnership program with the Deutsche Bank and our local anti-poverty agencies, Project Hospitality and El Centro de Migrante, at PS 20 in Port Richmond neighborhood. She coordinated the Anchoring Achievement Mexican Communities Initiative, which improves the long-term educational and economic well-being of children, youth, and families of Mexican and Mexican-American origin. Patty showed up every day for 2 years at 7 a.m. in the morning to ensure that those children arrived at their elementary school and then put in a full day at Wagner, as well as in her student teaching and internships, only to return to that school every day at 4 o'clock to start teaching those students and their parents English. That's an amazing record, Patricia. Rachel Walker from Canton, Massachusetts, and Leo Schuchert from Lloyd, New York, both psychology majors, pioneered a highly unique program at Wagner College, the Port Richmond Leadership Academy for high school students. Working with our remarkable staff at the Center for Leadership and Community Engagement and alongside Principal of Port Richmond High School, Tim Gannon, who we will recognize today with an honorary doctorate, Leo and Rachel provided excellent on-the-ground leadership and mentoring 12 Port Richmond High School students who are not currently on track for college and from families without any college experience or expectation of college. They provided an intensive summer academic and civic residency at Wagner, as well as support for these high school students throughout this past year in their high school setting. Their commitment to standing by those youngsters and families illustrates the untapped creativity and achievement that lies within them. Rachel, Leo, Patty, realize, as your class does, that vibrant and inclusive democratic societies can and must nurture and support those youngsters who have so much to discover within themselves. And we'll hear this a bit from our graduation speaker, Wes Moore, in a few minutes. So much to develop within themselves, and so much they too can give back to their own neighborhoods, families, communities, and to the nation. They show us every day, and your class shows us every day, that dreams do not have to be deferred, and that indeed all lives do matter. You face a time of great challenge in our global economy, in our environment, in the issues of justice and opportunity, and issues of war and peace. Because I and the faculty and the staff of this community know who you are and what you have done, as well as what you're capable of accomplishing. We have confidence that your commitment to learning and your compassion for others will thaw the chill of these global problems and set all of us on a path to a better world. In an age too often marked by hatred and terrorism, severe environmental stress, widening gulfs of wealth, literacy, and access to basic health care, your generation is destined to usher in a new type of leadership where knowledge and empathy are joined to social responsibility and effective action. Don't shirk, do not shirk from this moment. It is your time to make the global community more open, more innovative, and more just. At Wagner, you've been prepared to meet the challenges of your time. Your personal biographies are intimately tied to the contours of this historical era. Your values and your commitment are our national treasures. You have my personal deep affection, my best wishes, and congratulations to each and every one of you on this fabulous day. Thank you. Today we honor three highly accomplished persons. And we honor them not only for what they've done in their lives, but because they are part of who you are. They have your values. They share with what you believe in and what I was just speaking about. And they are Aletta Diamond, Tim Gannon, and Wes Moore. And Professor of Religious Studies, Dr. Walter Kalber, will call them forward for a citation and presentation of their awards. Dr. Kalber.
President Garassi, I present Aletta Diamond. Trustees Maureen Robinson and Diane Powers will assist with placing the hood on the shoulders of Aletta Diamond. Back in the day, years before that bridge was built across the Narrows, a little girl named Aletta Kipp was born and raised here on Staten Island, down by the ferry on Victory Boulevard. Aletta grew up above the little mom-and-pop bakery owned by her parents. Her mother, who had been orphaned in Germany, had made her way to America while still a young lady. And it was here on Staten Island that she met and married Aletta's father. Although neither had gone to college, both parents were resolved that their children would. And so when young Aletta, who had spent years helping her parents daily at the bakery, had the opportunity of attending Wagner College, the choice was clear. Shy and insecure, and with traces of baker's flour still clinging to her dress, young Aletta began her love affair with Wagner. It was here at Wagner that Aletta Kipp came to believe in herself and her abilities. In the decades that followed, Aletta Kipp Diamond distinguished herself in untiring service to education and in boundless dedication to her beloved alma mater. After earning her bachelor's degree from Wagner in 1965, she went on to receive a number of graduate diplomas. Over a 30-year period, Aletta Diamond held numerous and varied positions in education on Staten Island. Of particular note is the courageous and pioneering work Aletta did as the sex education coordinator for District 31. In a field that is now recognized as crucial, Aletta at the time had to make her way against prejudice and resistance. As a consequence, Aletta has served as a guest speaker and consultant for numerous health education conferences and campaigns. In 1992, the Wagner College chapter of Kappa Delta Pi, the National Education Honor Society, named Aletta Diamond Educator of the Year. The Staten Island Council on Child Abuse and Neglect has also recognized her for her dedication to the well-being of children. Aletta Kipp Diamond was elected to the Wagner College Board of Trustees in 2003, where she is currently completing her 4th term. She has served as president of the Wagner College Alumni Association and is currently co-chair of the Class of 1965 50th Reunion Committee, a post which has given her great joy. She also serves on the Scholarship Fund Committee for her sorority, Alpha Delta Pi, and for several years has been a member of the advisory board for the New Educators at Wagner, a program that provides support and instruction to Staten Island educators embarking upon their profession. In 2004, she was inducted into the Wagner College Circle of Omicron Delta Kappa, the National Leadership Honor Society, and in 2007 she was given ODK's Alumni Award for dedication and service. And so, not bad at all for that shy little girl with baker's flour on her dress. Wagner College graduates could have no better role model than Aletta Diamond. Her dedication to the public good and her contributions to society and to her alma mater clearly serve as an inspiration to her fellow Wagner alumni. You, Aletta Diamond, represent the best of a Wagner education: integrity, intelligence, and achievement. It is therefore more than appropriate that we honor you here today.
With the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees at Wagner College and the laws of the state of New York, I hereby confer upon you, Aletta Diamond, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and thereby declare that your name forever will be inscribed on the roll of Wagner College's most esteemed alumni. Congratulations, Aletta.
Thank you, Dr. Kalber, for the kind words. And students, forgive me if I repeat some of the kind things he said about me. Dr. Garassi, thank you. Dr. Prochi, thank you. And to my fellow trustees, this is indeed an honor. It truly is a humbling experience. I'm going to address the class of 2015, and I promise to be brief. I sat where you are 50 years ago, and I remember the myriad of thoughts running through my mind. Oh my God, I actually did it. I made it. And oh heavens, reality is knocking on the door. And also the thought, will I get that job? The last thought I had, and it's probably in yours too, is when will the talking stop so I can go out and celebrate? I promise you I will be brief. The banners that you see around the Oval and across campus were a gift from the class of 2006. They say the college of choice in the city of opportunity. And I know I can speak for those of us on this stage today that we're incredibly happy that you chose Wagner. My story, as you heard, was a bit different. Wagner was chosen for me, not by me. My mother came to this country as a young woman in her 20s. Little education and no opportunities. She came seeking a better life. Neither of my parents had the opportunity to go to college, but they were determined that their children would. They firmly believed, as I do, that an education was the key to opportunity, and they never had that. My older sister was brilliant, artistic, and my protector. My big brother was smart, if it was something he wanted to study. And then he was selective, but he studied that subject in detail. I was the one who struggled initially with learning. To me, a B and a C was a triumph. Don't feel sorry for me because in graduate school, the A's finally came. But as a 16-year-old, with my friends talking about what college they would go to, what they would be when they grow up, I visited my guidance counselor, who said, save your parents the money. You'll never make it. Can you imagine saying that to an insecure 16-year-old girl? Incredible. I only wish she were here today. Obviously, she didn't know my mom. Not going to college was not an option. Going away to school was not an option, not for her littlest. But right over the hill from the bakery, that school with the castle-like building, in her mind was the perfect fit. I still don't know who put out the application. I still don't know who paid the application fee, but here I am. I vividly remember that August morning when we drove around the Oval. Yes, in those days you could drive around the Oval. And I was supposed to attend orientation. I sat in the car begging, don't make me get out, please. I'll wash the pans, I'll set up the cakes. Don't make me do this. Not an option. Get out of the car, go up those stairs. Whatever you have to do, you will do, because you can do what others do. So with tears streaming down my face, literally, trying to convince those around me that it was allergy season, I walked up the main hall steps. Wagner took a chance on me. Wagner nurtured me and helped me find my niche. Wagner made me believe in me. I truly believe that the early struggles I had with learning helped me in my teaching career so that I would understand what it was like for the others. Maturation and self-confidence did make all the difference for me, and those A's did come later on with my other 2 degrees. But the nurturing environment I found here still exists today, and perhaps is even stronger, due in large part to the Wagner plan that you've had for the past 4 years. And without exception, the dedicated faculty that guided you through this very special, practice-centered liberal arts program. Some of you may be sitting there thinking, I look familiar. Well, if you work out in the Spiro Sports Center and you see this deranged-looking senior citizen with her hot pink sneakers working out with Brian Trays, your strength coach, that's me. And believe me, I'm telling you, I appreciate those smiles of encouragement as I sweat through those workouts twice a week. I've had the privilege of watching you grow and marveled at the civic engagement component of the Wagner Plan. Your efforts have benefited the Staten Island community and well beyond. Through this program, you have seen how important teamwork is. You have seen how important being involved in a community is and the difference that involvement can bring. As you move forward in your chosen field, please continue to be engaged in your own community, wherever that lands you. Some last observations that I'd like to share. Some of you are visionaries. You think outside the box, while others of you will be executioners of those ideas and will undoubtedly make them happen. I've seen you at work. Our theater students are exceptional, and I fully expect to see their names on Broadway in the future, some without their names being seen, but they will be backstage making wonderful things happen. I'm in awe of the student athlete. They juggle coursework, civic engagement, practice sessions, and competitions. Theirs truly is time management stressed to the max. Please allow me, just for a few moments, to go into teacher mode. After 30 years of classroom, it's hard to break that. Life for you is full of choices, and the foundation you received from home and Wagner have prepared you to move forward in life. I can tell you that the friendships you've made are lifelong ones. Learning does not end today. Learning is a lifelong journey. It must be true, you sneezed. And book knowledge is not always in the forefront. Often it's the simple, everyday experiences that teach us the most. Surround yourself, please, with positive people. Whenever possible, avoid negative ones. In my day, we referred to learning as the 3 R's, reading, writing, and arithmetic. When I taught, I believed it was important to have 3 R's for life instilled in my students. And I believe you have that. R for respect. If you truly respect who you are, you'll be able to give respect to others. Responsibility is the second R, for your actions or lack thereof. And the last R is perhaps the hardest. That's reason. As young people, your enthusiasm sometimes takes you a little bit off the reasoning path. And as a senior, sometimes I lose the ability to reason, but it's there. As you leave today, please give a hug to your family members who made sacrifices for you, as mine did, so that you attended Wagner. I know I will hug the family that came to support me today. Be sure, as you walk that gauntlet going out, to thank those professors who helped you along the way and encouraged you. In closing, let me ask that as life takes over, try not to forget Wagner, and life will take over, but come back for a game. Stay connected. You know how to do social media. I'm a bit of a dinosaur. I don't do Facebook and all of that. But when you've made it big, let us know so that we can applaud your efforts. So this Golden Seahawk wishes you all the best. God bless.
Dr. Garassi, I present Tim Gannon for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. Trustees Lorraine McNeil-Popper and Mark Leibovitz will assist with placing the hood on the shoulders of Tim Gannon. Timothy Gannon, principal of Port Richmond High School on Staten Island, has brought dedication, innovation, and tireless energy to his long and successful career as an educator here on the island. The passion he brings to his profession has served as a model for many educators here and well beyond our shores. After graduating magna cum laude from Iona College with a degree in mathematics, Timothy Gannon began his teaching career at Power Memorial Academy in Manhattan while pursuing a master's degree in secondary education. In 1987, Mr. Gannon began his service at Curtis High School, serving there in multiple administrative, teaching, and coaching positions for the next 17 years. It was during Tim Gannon's tenure at Curtis that he began to envision a school as more than simply a school, but rather as a family, strengthened by individual relationships. In 1997, when former Curtis basketball player Sandy Brock was killed in a senseless act of gun violence, Timothy Gannon created an award in Brock's name, an award that is now given each year to a selected Staten Island youth organization that teaches the importance of conflict resolution. It was therefore perfectly appropriate that the Staten Island Advance named Gannon its Sportsman of the Year in the year 2000, in recognition of his work in establishing strong relationships with his basketball players. By the time Gannon left Curtis, his teams had won 6 Staten Island high school basketball championships in a span of 11 years. Tim Gannon took the helm at Port Richmond High School in 2005, first as acting principal in February and then on a permanent basis in June of that year. During Tim's tenure at Port Richmond High, the school has developed a nationally recognized partnership with Wagner College, a partnership that provides opportunities for many high school students to experience and understand the demands of college life. Through the Port Richmond Partnership, students at the high school partner with Wagner students on several community service projects each year. Tim Gannon has been a passionate and deeply committed member of the partnership, which has brought multiple schools, churches, businesses, and nonprofit agencies together to focus on the challenges faced by his community. In 2014, Wagner President Richard Garassi and Principal Gannon partnered to develop a one-of-a-kind academy that would provide high school students with a 3-summer sequence of experience that would develop the leadership skills, writing skills, and math skills necessary for college success. The partnership's Leadership Academy now provides opportunities for as many as 60 10th, 11th, and 12th graders to participate in a summer program, during which they live here on the Wagner campus, participate in civic engagement activities in their home community, and take high school and college credit courses. Most recently, Mr. Gannon and his staff have won the support of the New York City Public School System for the creation of new facilities within Port Richmond High School, facilities that will allow the school to function not only as a secondary school, but as a community school, providing educational services, social services, as well as health and fitness services to the entire Port Richmond community. And so, for his tireless dedication to education and civic engagement, and for his innovative vision, it is more than appropriate that we honor you, Timothy Gannon, here today with this degree.
Let me just say this. To make this official, with the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees at Wagner College and the laws of the state of New York, I hereby confer upon you, Tim Gannon, the degree of Humane Letters, honoris causa, and thereby declare that your name forever be inscribed in the roll of Wagner College's most esteemed alumni. Congratulations, Tim.
Wow. I'm a high school guy, and I was getting a little worried that with all the nice things being said, that it was going to end with, he passed away in 2015, and high school principals don't get that many compliments. I'm honored and humbled to accept this degree, and I thank President Garassi, the trustees of Wagner College, the administration, faculty, and students, and I thank the graduates for allowing me to jump in on your class. In about 33 days, right over in the Spiro Center, we're going to graduate a few hundred students. And for many of those students, their parents came here illegally. They came here without much more than a 7th grade education. And for many of them, they were touched by you folks. But my message is really to the parents who are here. I ask that you make a big deal about today, that we understand the importance and the celebration of a college education, that we understand what these graduates have achieved, and that we make sure that they remember this day for the rest of their lives. That is what we need to take away from today. You parents have worked remarkably hard. I have a 9-year-old son. I know you're hitting each other saying, did he say grandson? No. My 9-year-old Timmy and my nephew Jack Garrity are here today missing school because I want them to see how cool a college graduation is. But I need everyone in here to make it cool. When my high school kids graduate, we can't afford the tent. We come over here, and for an hour or two afterwards, we take pictures. And I always look at the faces of the moms and dads, because that's what tells the story. because they know how important that high school diploma is. So I need you folks to make sure that we really send the message to all the little Timmy Gannons, all the little Jack Garrity's of the world, that this is a big day. Yes. Chris Tucker is graduating. Where's Chris? Where's Chris? Raise your hand, Chris. Chris Tucker is graduating, and I told your mom she needs to cry today. So it's on me. So please celebrate. I know I live right off of Forest Avenue. I know you folks don't know this, but there are a few bars along Forest Avenue. I want those bars singing tonight. I want to hear that Wagner College graduated. Wagner College is working with Port Richmond High School on increasing the number of college degrees on Staten Island by 30,000 in 10 years. And I need you to be the soldiers. You don't have to be on Staten Island, but you're the soldiers that tell people who tell us it's impossible. It can't be done. And that's why we said, all right, then we'll give it 10 years and we'll do it. But we need you folks to point the way about a college degree, to remind people what a Wagner College degree is about, and to make it special. I'm going to be up and down Forest Avenue. I'm not giving this back. So I need you with that same sense of celebration. Look into your parents' eyes tonight. The same eyes that 22 years ago saw you for the first time. And look into those eyes every single hour. And parents, look at your children tonight, these graduates, and every single hour, tell them you're proud. They're going to tell you stop, and don't you dare stop. Every hour, the graduates are looking into the eyes, and the parents are saying how proud you are. The only other thing I wanted to mention, I wanted to apologize for the program, and I ask for your forgiveness, because Wagner College made a mistake. They're calling it commencement. It's not what it is. Because of the Wagner plan, your commencement exercises were in August of 2011, when you first stepped foot on campus. Today is Gotta Keep It Going Day. Today is you gotta keep it going exercise, because we're not celebrating what you're going to begin. We're celebrating who you are right now and what you've done already. So let's make sure college graduates are going around the country these days, and there's graduations all over, and those are commencement exercises. But at Wagner, it's got to keep it going. Wes Moore, who you'll hear from, is an inspirational man who reminds us about the importance of connections, mentoring, staying involved, and touching people one at a time, one heart at a time. So you're Wagner. You're Wagner College. You're those few, those select, who have already made a difference. You've already seen the bright eyes of a child when you taught them something in a classroom. You've held the hand of the sick and assured them that they would be okay. You taught us how to bring harmony to a community and creativity. You know how to manage business with ethics and how to apply the sciences without ever forgetting that it's the arts that touch our souls. So you have to forgive Wagner College for a lot of things today. You have to forgive them for calling it a commencement when it's got to keep it going. You have to forgive them for over-preparing you, putting you into the world that you're going to impact beginning tomorrow. You have to forgive them for giving you professors who were blinded to your insecurities and your weaknesses, and instead just kept on looking at the greatness that was within you. And you have to forgive us. In the community of Port Richmond, where my kids and my families are, we're not always great at saying thank you. We're not always great at recognizing what you shared with us, the impact you had on us. But know that we do know the greatness that you've shared with Port Richmond. So please forgive all the mistakes. Recognize you got to keep it going. You can't let the Wagner plan end here. The world needs folks like you to keep impacting the kids, to keep making a difference. So please, on behalf of Port Richmond High School, on behalf of the Port Richmond community where I serve, please know that we congratulate you, we thank you, we are in awe of you, and promise me that today you will celebrate long and Seahawk strong. Thank you and God bless you.
Dr. Garassi, I present Wes Moore for the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters, honoris causa. Trustee Warren Prochi and Steve Aiello will assist with the placing of the hood on the shoulders of Wes Moore. Wesley Moore, as many of you may already know from his books and television appearances, is a remarkable person with a remarkable life and a truly remarkable message for everyone in America today. Born in 1978, Wes Moore and his sisters were raised by their widowed mother. Despite early academic and behavioral struggles, Wes graduated Phi Theta Kappa in 1998 as a commissioned officer from Valley Forge Military College, and then Phi Beta Kappa from Johns Hopkins University in 2001, where he also played football and earned a bachelor's degree in international relations. He then became a Rhodes Scholar, studying international relations at Oxford University. After completing his studies, Wes Moore was given a military commission serving a tour of combat duty in Afghanistan as an Army airborne captain. Moore then became a White House Fellow, serving as Special Assistant to Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice. It is therefore appropriate that he now serves on the board of the Iraq-Afghanistan Veterans of America. Wes Moore came to prominence with the publication in 2010 of his first book, The Other Wes Moore, a truly amazing story of how a program of mentoring and support prevented him from falling into a life of crime and drugs. The autobiographical piece tells the tale of two kids with the same name living in the same decaying area of the city. One grew up to be a Rhodes Scholar and a White House Fellow after serving as an Army combat officer. The other is currently serving a life sentence for killing a police officer during an armed robbery. Burning with curiosity as to why he and the other Wes Moore were destined to lead such radically different lives, Moore investigated the life of the man with the same name. The result was an instant New York Times and Wall Street Journal bestseller that focused the nation's attention on those factors separating success from failure in our inner city communities. Moore's most recent book, The Work, My Search for a Life That Matters, is the story of how one young man traced a path through the world, ultimately finding meaning and purpose. Wes Moore traveled from a difficult childhood in the Bronx and Baltimore to an adult life that would find him at some of the most critical moments in our recent history. As a combat officer in Afghanistan, as a White House fellow in a time of war abroad and disasters at home, and as a Wall Street banker during the recent financial crisis. In this insightful book, Moore shares the lessons he learned from people he met along the way, from the brave Afghan translator who encouraged him to find his life's mission, to the resilient young students in Katrina-ravaged Mississippi who showed him the meaning of true grit, and to his late grandfather who taught him to find grace and dignity in service to others. Wes Moore is also the founder and CEO of Bridge EDU, an innovative college platform that addresses the challenges of college completion and job placement. Bridge EDU reinvents the freshman year in a way that engages students in real-world internships and service learning opportunities, in addition to core academic classes. Bridge EDU mirrors many of the strategies and values inherent in the Wagner Plan for the Practical Liberal Arts, the Wagner College's signature curriculum pioneered in the late 1990s by President Richard Garassi. It is indeed hard to imagine a more impressive and fitting role model to address our graduates today. You, Wes Moore, grace our stage as a shining example of courage, conviction, intelligence, and creativity. And so we honor you today, just as you honor us by your presence here at Wagner College.
With the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wagner College and with the laws of the state of New York, I hereby confer upon you, Wes Moore, the degree of Doctor of Humane Letters honoris causa. Congratulations, Wes.
Thank you so much, and good morning. Hurrah! Dr. Garassi, thank you so much for this amazing honor. It's more humbling than you know. To the entire board, thank you for allowing me to be here today. To my fellow doctors, Doctors Gannon and Diamond. By the way, I've always wanted to say that, but my fellow doctors, right? And I'm with you too. I'm going to wear this all day, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go home tonight, and I'm going to ask my wife to address me as doctor from now on. So I'm actually kind of glad y'all are graduating because I might need a place to stay tonight, so I hope a dorm room is now open. But this really is a true and distinct honor, and I could not be more thankful. And also, I could not be more proud of you Seahawks for everything you've accomplished and everything you've done. Because the truth is that everybody up here, everybody out there, they're all here for you. They're all here to celebrate you. They're all here to celebrate what you've done and to congratulate you on this remarkable accomplishment. The thing I think people also ask, though, is while today is about you, that you never forget who tomorrow is supposed to be about. Because I'm going to be very honest with you, and I'll play a bit of a contrarian right now. But the truth is, I finished my undergrad experience now 13 years ago. And the truth is that no one anymore ever asks me, so Wes, what did you major in college? The truth is that as hard as you've worked for your degrees and as hard as you've put work into your classrooms, nobody anymore ever asks me, so Wes, remember that paper that you turned in on April 5th of 2002? How'd that paper go? No one anymore ever asks me, so remember that test that you took? How'd that test go? Because the truth is, all those questions are going to fade. And frankly, they're going to fade pretty quickly. You've worked so incredibly hard to sit where you're sitting right now, to be members of the colleges that you're in and the degree programs that you're in, and people will very soon stop asking you about them. Because those questions are going to fade. The truth is, the question that will never fade for you is, who did you choose to fight for? Who did you choose to stand up for when it wasn't easy? Who did you choose to advocate for when it wasn't convenient? Who did you choose to stand shoulder to shoulder with when it might have just been you two standing there? But you did it because it was the right thing to do. What you studied will fade. Who you fight for will not. So I remember when I wrote the first book, The Other Wes Moore. Listen, after hearing the descriptions of everybody, I know 3/4 of y'all are already published. This was my first book, right? I'd never written a book before that. And I didn't know the way the publishing industry worked, right? I didn't realize that everything you see on the inside of a book, all the writing, all the contents, and all that kind of stuff, that's what the author wants to share with the world. Everything you see on the outside of a book, the cover, the title, the airbrushed author photos, the blurbs, all that kind of stuff, that's what the publisher wants to share with the world, because the publisher holds on to those rights for a reason. Because the publisher knows that when you walk into a bookstore, that they have 3.2 seconds to get your attention. And if they don't get your attention in 3.2 seconds, you as a consumer will just keep on walking and you will move on to the next book. So they will do whatever it takes in those 3.2 seconds to get your attention. I didn't know that. I thought publishers actually cared about what authors thought, right? So they called me in about 5 months before the book was set to come out, because up until that point, it was just called Untitled by Wes Moore, all right? So they called me in, they're like, Wes, what do you think that the title of your book should be? And again, I didn't realize this is more of a ceremonial conversation than anything else, right? So I'm like, you know what? I'm glad y'all asked me, because there's 6 titles that I really like. I'm like, what are they? And I started rattling them off. I was like, what about Baltimore Suns? Or what about All the Difference? Or what about Out of Many? Or what about End of the Innocence? And I start throwing these different titles out. And then I look at them and I say, so y'all can go ahead and choose between any of those 6, because I'm fine with any of them. And they look at me and they say, that's very kind of you. But we think we have a better idea. And they said, what do you think about The Other Wes Moore? And I said, that might be the dumbest book title that I've ever heard in my life. True story. And they were like, what don't you like about it? I was like, there's a whole bunch of things I don't like about it. I said, but let me go ahead and start with 3, okay? Number 1, I try to make it very clear that this story is not just about these 2 kids. That it wasn't about one street, it wasn't about one neighborhood, it wasn't about one generation, it wasn't about one race, it wasn't about one socioeconomic group. It was about all of us. About the decisions that we make in our lives, and tantamount to that, the people who we have in our lives who help us to make those decisions. So by putting the name inside of the title of the book, you're completely negating that entire fact, right? That's one. Second thing, what self-respected author do you know that puts their own name inside of a title of a book that they've written, right? No, the other J.K. Rowling, the other James Patterson, it sounds ridiculous. It does, it sounds crazy, right? And the third thing I told them I like about it, I was like, listen, no one knows who one Wes Moore is. So why does anybody care who the other Wes Moore is. Right? So y'all agree, right? So I said this to him, and they smiled. And they were like, those are actually all really good points. And they said, the problem, though, is that you're missing the point. Because you're absolutely right. It's not about you. And it's not about him. That the name is completely irrelevant. You can throw any name inside of that book title. It really does not matter. Because the truth is, there are Wes Moores that exist in every one of our communities, and in every one of our schools, and in every one of our homes. People who are literally one decision away from going in one direction or a completely different direction. People who every day are straddling this line of greatness, and the problem is they don't even know it. The name doesn't matter. The most important thing about the title is the other. The fact that our society is full of others. People who might not look like us, who might not speak like us, who might live on the other part of town than us, who might come from different family lineages than us. People who might not be graduating today from a school as prestigious as Wagner. When it comes time for you to answer that question of who you choose to fight for, of who did you fight for, I think everybody would hope that at some point the answer becomes the others. The ones who need and deserve a champion. The ones who are larger and greater destiny is going to depend just as much on their success as it does on ours. The ones who are looking around and who admire your success, and now it's your turn to make your success mean more than just the degree. That's the beauty of everything that you all have done so far, is this stage is set. This path is laid out for you. And now it's just about you going and running through it. And I think about a friend of mine named Cara Alley, who's up in Boston, who was raised by a single mom. And when she was 14 years old, her mom got a job that ended up changing the entire trajectory of the entire family. And Cara never forgot that. And Cara later on finished school and started different businesses and became an entrepreneur. And then she started a business called American Mojo, which is a clothing company. It's an apparel company. American Mojo. The reason she called it American Mojo is because the mojo stands for mothers and jobs. Because the only people she hires in her company are single mothers, most of whom who live in poverty themselves. From the top of the company to the bottom of the company, that's all she hires. I always tell her, I was like, can I apply for a job? She's like, I wouldn't even take a look, so you can apply if you want. She's not interested in looking at my application. Cara does it as a tribute to her mother. She does it because she loves the feeling of calling a woman up and telling her, I'll see you on Monday. I think about buddies of mine like Joe Menko, who came to Baltimore because he was following his girlfriend, who ended up breaking up with him 6 months later. But I always laugh because I say Joe came to Baltimore for love, but he stayed for love too, because he fell in love with the kids of our city. He started off in teaching, eventually went to the administration, and there was a school called Liberty Elementary School, which was one of the worst performing schools in Baltimore. It was literally set to close in 24 months. And since Baltimore City loved Joe so much, they said, how would you like to be principal of that school? And Joe said, why not? And that was 5 years ago. Liberty Elementary is now one of the top performing elementary schools in the entire city of Baltimore. In 5 years. And if you ask Joe, and if you ask the teachers what's so important about Joe, and there's literally a waiting list of teachers who all want to teach under Principal Joe. And if if you ask those teachers what makes Liberty so special, they'll say two things. It's a place of high expectations where the bar is high and it has never moved. And they say if you go there at 7:15 every single morning, the only constant is that Joe Manco is standing there at the door, and every single student that walks through those doors, he greets them with a hug and he greets them with an I love you. Because he knows that for many of his students, that might be the first hug they've gotten all day. And he wants every single one of his students to know that when they walk into that place, they're walking into a place of love. And I think about my buddies named Dale Beatty and John Galena. Two guys from Statesville, North Carolina, who were best friends growing up, graduated high school together, joined the North Carolina National Guard together. John was a GC, a general contractor, and Dale was I was going to call him a cook at Cracker Barrel, but he calls himself a chef at Cracker Barrel. And one day they decided to go on active duty together. They deployed to Iraq together. They were in Baghdad, and John was driving a Humvee, and Dale was sitting in the passenger seat. And while they were driving down a road that they had driven down multiple times before, an IED goes off right next to their vehicle. And it blew the vehicle 20 feet into the air. John was knocked out as he was driving. When John finally came to, he looked over to his right, and he saw his best friend dying next to him. When the medics were able to come and they were able to get Dale out of the vehicle, they were able to come and they were able to save Dale's life, but they were not able to save Dale's legs. And when Dale came home, he received treatment and he received this hero's welcome. But what people didn't realize was that there were other people who were injured in that vehicle that day as well. And John was the only one without physical injuries. But John had a very serious case of PTSD, of TBI, traumatic brain injury, and John eventually became suicidal. And the only person that noticed was Dale. And one day Dale went to go see John, and he said, you know how, you always say if there's anything that you can do to help me, to let me know? And John says, yes, anything. It was my fault. I'm so sorry. I was driving the vehicle. And Dale says, well, first of all, it wasn't your fault. And second of all, he said, I want to build homes for service-disabled veterans. And John kind of pauses for a second and says, how are you going to build homes? You have no legs. And Dale said, but you do. And they first started by building a ramp for a service-disabled Vietnam veteran who they knew, who lived in Statesville, North Carolina with them, and have since started an organization called Purple Heart Homes, where now these two guys from Statesville, North Carolina, go around the country building homes together for service-disabled veterans. Kara, Joe, Dale, John, all of you. You fight for the others. You fight to make sure that all people understand that they are a part of this conversation and they are part of our equation. And frankly, that's all you're ever asked to do. My baby sister once said, she's like 32, but she's always my baby sister. She once said one of her definitions of hell would be one day God showing her everything she could have accomplished had she only tried. One day God showing her everything she could have accomplished had she only tried. We live our lives every single day, so when that conversation happens, there's only one thing that needs to be said to us, which is job well done. We are so incredibly proud of the work that you have done thus far to get here. But more important, we're thankful for the job well done that you guys are still yet to do. Bless you and congratulations on your graduation.
Will the candidates for bachelor's degrees please rise? President Garassi, I have the honor to present to you for investment the candidates for the bachelor degree awarded by Wagner College.
Before I read this citation to formally bring you to commencement, or keep it going day, as it be, let me just explain how this works. First, I will invest all of you as graduates as a class, all the bachelor's degrees. Then you'll sit down and then we'll call up the BAs and then the BSs. And then after that's completed, you'll have 3 student speakers from your class to give short addresses to the class. And then we'll call up the master's degree students. So, with that said, with the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wagner College, in accordance with the laws of the state of New York, I hereby confer upon you the bachelor's degree for which you have qualified, and thereby welcome you to the community of educated men and women and extend to you our hopes and best wishes for your continued success. Congratulations.
Congratulations, and will the degree recipients now please be seated? I now have the honor to present individually those just awarded their undergraduate degrees. The audience is requested to wait until all bachelor degree recipients have received their diplomas before applauding. Will the recipients of the Bachelor of Arts degree come forward? Thomas Altoff. Nicole Amato. Tyler N. Gatto. Kate Arbuckle. Congratulations. Davante Barnett. Samantha Lynn Bedker. Ian Burkchausen, summa cum laude. Alyssa Michelle Bianculi. Catherine Hannah Bragg, cum laude. Lorraine Brencali, magna cum laude. Valentina Agatha Brigulio. Molly Adele Brown. Kelsey Brown. Gianna Carly Bruno. Anthony Bullock. Congratulations. Justin E. Bulova. Jessica Burge, cum laude. Congratulations. Marcus J. Burton. Congratulations. Nina Michelle Camporiali, cum laude. Congratulations. Bianna Margaret Cariotti. Devin M. Carrero. Tara Catalano. Francis J. Cersina. Annabella Cockerell, cum laude. Danielle Lee James. Amanda L. Hastings, cum laude. Taylor Marie Grupico. Dana Goff, magna cum laude. Carolyn Janine Haggerty, magna cum laude. Ryan S. Gambino. Amanda Marie Gomes. Nora Ihab Hassan, magna cum laude. Danielle Nicole Gianetto. Caitlin Rose Gallagher, summa cum laude. Kaylee R. Hand. Caitlin Ann Gamba, magna cum laude. Tyler Cuccinello. Angela D'Amico, at magna cum laude. Stephanie Rose DeFilippi. Ava Francis DeLeo. Matthew Dove. Lindsay Estelle Dunn. Philip Gerard Facone Jr., magna cum laude. Nicole Elizabeth Fallon, cum laude. Sarah Rebecca Fishbein. Phoebe Adelia Ford, magna cum laude. Sam Henry Foreign, cum laude. Kelly Gainey, magna cum laude. Megan Christine Heaney. Matthew Ryan Hess. Anna Huddle, cum laude. Ebony C. Jenny. Clarissa Jimenez. Matthew Kane. Magna cum laude. Monica Koltsev, magna cum laude. Mariah Elise Klemowitz. Trevor Hamilton Kraftnick, magna cum laude. Kyle I. Cressman. Thomas J. Lamondo. Mallory Hope Lee, cum laude. Jessica Lynn Liston. Jessie Lynn Leston, magna cum laude. Ryan Aaron Lillis, cum laude. Chelsea M. Losell, magna cum laude. Kristen Luisi. Kimberly Ann Madden, magna cum laude. Alyssa Manfredini. Alexis Marquardt. Patricia Ann McCaffrey. Caitlin A. McCarthy, cum laude. Samuel J. McGee. Megan Elizabeth McIver. Paige McNamara. Michael J. McMenamin. Thomas Scarcella, summa cum laude. Leo Peregrine Schukert, cum laude. Kevin J. Messier. Jeffrey Mills, magna cum laude. Abir Michal, cum laude. Jessica Norlis. Alyssa Nicole Molino. Iris Justine Myers, cum laude. Caitlin Newland Wagner, magna cum laude. Alyssa Nealon. Ugochi N. Wigwe, magna cum laude. Patrick James O'Connell. Shannon Christine O'Connor, cum laude. Stephanie Pagano. Olivia Morgan Page, cum laude. Catherine O. Payne. Julia Rose Palladino. Eric R. Parshall. Kelly Francis Pasafume. Erin K. Pence, summa cum laude. Kelly A. Pereira. Lisa J. Peterson, summa cum laude. Elise Katrina Pizzonia, cum laude.
Can you add Williams to the information?
Raylan Robinson Williams. Alexandra Josephine Roca. Sonia Roinstad. Stephanie Ann Hicks. Margot Murphy Gross. Adriana Mikula Hansen, summa cum laude. Emily Rose Shaner. Cynthia T. Shaw, summa cum laude. Sarah Shear, magna cum laude. Mariah Sherman, cum laude. Melissa J. Solano, cum laude. Robin Lynn Simonetti. Ashley P. Sinodinos, cum laude. Daniela Sotile. Anna Kate Spears. Kevin D. Spillane. Shelby Marie Stedman. Kate Elizabeth Stewart. Shannon E. Sweeney. Brittany Marie Talvey, cum laude. Julia Rachel Teichman. Christopher Tooker. Vivi Thuy Tran. Tiffany Alicia Turner, cum laude. Deanna Valdenoto. Emily Vasallo, summa cum laude. John Coito Vincent IV. Rachel Iman Walker. Daniel Walsh. Jared M. Williams. Jakeem Williamson. Grace Eugenia Woodward. Kelly Yamahiro. Grace Zhang, cum laude. Recipients of the Bachelor of Science degree. IV, cum laude. Chantal Denise Marie Agnew, magna cum laude. David DeSears. Jonathan D'Elia. Anthony DeSico IV, the second, cum laude. Stephen Agro. Edgar Gittel Deutsch, cum laude. Carrie Lee Alexander. Diana Atagura. Sandra Ajamawo. Nafisa Binte Alam. Alyssa E. Angelinovich. Lisa Angel. Christopher Antonacci. Nadia Asfar. Taylor Beth Aspenleiter. Lena Elizabeth Fumilio Ayashimi. Alyssa Azanaro. Stephen Joseph Baldo. Patrick Hildebranch Barriou. Shanaz Begum. Jennifer Billord. Mark Charles Byer. Marcella Angela Biordi, summa cum laude. Jeffrey Gordon Bradley. Naomi Brouard. Margaret Brown. Danielle Nicole Brusella, summa cum laude. Matthew Bunting. Daniel Berghardt. Rachel M. Burns. Kareem J. Butler. Anthony J. Canella. Allison Caraballo. Colby Carolyn. Cody Carpenter. Michael J. Cataldo, magna cum laude. Daniel Michael Kavanaugh. Anthony U. Carrington III. Ananda DiMartino, cum laude. Daniela Anna DiMeglio, summa cum laude. Anthony Di Padova, cum laude. Stephen T. DiVuolo. Leobardo Nieto Dominguez, magna cum laude. Melissa Francis Folks. Casey Fox, cum laude. Bianca Galapani, cum laude. Danielle Gili. Amy Elizabeth Gimple, cum laude. Thomas M. Goodhart. Amanda Graham. Brian Grandison. Ralph Green. Michelle Greeno, cum laude. Christian Grotwald, cum laude. Lauren Victoria Hauer. Yan Yi Chung. Brittany Champy. Alyssa Hope Cirelli. Jacqueline Cirelli, cum laude. Madeline Rose Cocherella. magna cum laude. Jacob Robert Harris Cohen. Nicole Antoinette Cooper. Allison Mary Cooper, cum laude. Carmine Coppola, cum laude. Kimberly Cowles, cum laude. Jenna Marie Davino. Candace Elise Day. Lauren de Blasi. Caitlin Donovan, cum laude. Ariel Ray Dorfman. James Ducey, magna cum laude. Mitchell F. Dressing. Andrew Joseph Dunn, summa cum laude. Patrick Dutton. Salvatore Anthony Emilio II, summa cum laude. Anthony R. Emanuel. Portia Lynn Emery. Alexa Jade Evans. Mary Elizabeth Farku, cum laude. Alec Favalli. Rosalie Fazio, summa cum laude. Danielle Gloria Felicia, cum laude. Christopher Felicio, magna cum laude. Elizabeth M. Felter. Zach Fenoff. Sean Marie Heiliger. Alexander S. Hernandez. Jonathan H. Henrich. Christian D. Hoffman. Dylan Holderness. Barrett Christine Hollow, cum laude. James Howell. Catherine Kayla Ivins. Marianne Rissetti, cum laude. Jenna Rispoli, cum laude. Anthony J. Rivers. Erica Chan. Amanda Lomanico, cum laude. Thomas Gerard Luisi. Kaylee E. Macharoli, cum laude. Spencer McQuarrie. Lindsay Elizabeth Macri. Jacob Malakoff. Gabriela Maldonado. Najia Malik, summa cum laude. Megan Marie Maniscalco. Ashley A. Marchese, magna cum laude. Amanda Alexa Martino. Corinne Ashley Matlack. Salvatore J. Massolino. Sydney Taylor McCarthy. Lauren Christine McGoldrick, cum laude. Shannon McLaughlin. Dante Fernandez. Albert J. Firestone. Joshua James Ferkser. Spiro Flaitoris. Lori J. Fogelstrom, summa cum laude. D'Angelo James. Catherine Kelly Jimerson, cum laude. Imani T. Jones. Rachel Ruth Jurgowitz, cum laude. Tracy Marie Kazarowski, magna cum laude. Michael Richard Kane, cum laude. Katie Capitan. Michelle Alyssa Quaco, cum laude. Jennifer Cranwinkle. Michael Lando, cum laude. Gina Jardine. Beth Ellen Lewis. Kristen Marie Lippa. George Richard Meade. Timothy Mendez. Dominique Miller. Charles Miller. Jessica Mills, cum laude. Sandra Gabriela Minchala, summa cum laude. Mackenzie Mink. Melissa M. Mistretta. Saquon Mitchell. Mary Susan Mitchell, cum laude. Gerald Molzon, cum laude. Daniela Trentino, cum laude. Gabriella Trentino, magna cum laude. Allison Catherine Turner, cum laude. Muhammad Zini Vardar. Philip Andrew Vayon, cum laude. Maureen Riley Vetter. Joey Pilato, summa cum laude. Maria Papayoano, cum laude. Kelsey Parker, magna cum laude. Brandon F. Pavlik. Emily E. Pereira. Emily Perel. Anthony J. Peruso, magna cum laude. Leonard Pesci. Melissa Anthony Phipps. Demi Posnack, magna cum laude. Sophia Pulio, magna cum laude. Stephanie Pustizi. Gina Rockman. Patricia Radzik. Helen D. Reed. Carrie Rezak, magna cum laude. Grace Alice Resendez. Sarah Mary Sidholm. Daniela Smolyansky. Victoria Spector. Ayodele Ashley Shodipo. Brendan J. Stackhouse. Matthew L. Sinopoli, cum laude. Morgan Stoner. Stephen Storniolo. Kyle C. Sullivan. Salvatore Vincent Susino, cum laude. Madison Page Sylvester. Chaz N. Taylor. Jessica E. Teresco. Emily A. Thornton, cum laude. Virginia Tirolosi. Yvonne Moran. Megan Morrissey, cum laude. Catherine Mulroney, cum laude. Mayar M. Musa. James Naglieri. Claudia Rose Najar, cum laude. Samuel Nathan, cum laude. Hugo Norris. Dominga Lynn Cooper, no. Catherine Marie Robertson. Julie Ann Ragavine. Lauren Elizabeth Russell. Tavia K. Raza, cum laude. Angela Rosa Sabetta. Stephanie Lizette Salinas. Christopher Gutierrez Lizardo. Miguel A. Santiago III. Corey Santor. Megan Sardella. Katrina Marie Schindler, cum laude. Maria Scopolito, magna cum laude. Michael Sirocco. Christina Sicandro, cum laude. Christiana Saliti, cum laude. Alexandria St. John Cetheris, magna cum laude. James Forbes Sheehan. Samantha E. Sidis, magna cum laude. Vincent Vituli, cum laude. Christine Marie Waldhoff. Christina Marie Waters. Nevin Christopher Williams. Heather Marie Wolf, summa cum laude. Carrie Lynn Weissel. Ryan Gregory Whitanis, cum laude. Hani F. Youssef. Jad Zaria. Philip J. Zufi Jr. Please honor all of the bachelor's degree awardees with your applause.
Wow. Wonderful class. I now have the privilege of introducing Jessie Lynn Leston, President of the Student Government Association. Jessie, an education and sociology dual major from Brooklyn, is president of the Student Government Association. She has been actively involved on campus since her first year in organizations such as AOPI, the Association for Supervision and Curriculum Development, the Panhandle Conference, WAGCAB. She has many, many things to be recognized for. Recently, the Joseph Gabrielin Memorial Award, and so on and so forth. She's a member of ODK. She's been a wonderful leader and representative of your class. My honor to present Jessie Leston.
Hi, guys. Okay, so I just want to start off by saying that It's been such an honor and a privilege to be the student body president of this class, the class of 2015. We did it! I also want to give a special thanks to all the people that helped us get here. So I want to thank my amazing parents, wherever you are, I can't see you. Woo! Thank you guys for always supporting me and for always letting me be able to reach for the stars. And for my siblings for always being my security blankets. So thank you for that. I just also want to say, it feels like it was just yesterday when we were on the football field, all standing with candles trying to make a 15, and I thought, I think that we kind of look like a cult right now. I have no idea what's happening. And then soon I realized that this was the place for me. And no, am I going to miss missing the last shuttle? No. Am I going to miss waking up at 3 in the morning because of a fire drill and standing outside of towers? Absolutely not. Am I going to miss having to go all the way back to my room to get my ID because they won't let me into the dining hall without it? Like, I go here, I swear. I just want to say the things that I would miss is Oval days and my friends and my best friends and my roommates. And I'm going to miss all of you guys because you guys are what make it special. We rock, the class of 2015. Here we go, into the world. I now have the pleasure of introducing two student speakers. I will ask them to come to the podium together, Carrie and Heather. Carrie Lee Alexander. Carrie is an arts administration major from Bloomfield, Connecticut, and has dedicated her time at Wagner to initiating change within our community. She was a founding member and served as president of My Sister's Keeper, the first support group and mentorship program for African American women at both the African Refugee Center and at Wagner College. She was instrumental in the creation of a highly successful performing arts partnership between Wagner College, Imagining America, Project Hospitality, Eye Openers, Youth Against Violence, and the Port Richmond community called the Sound of Port Richmond. Carrie was also a founding member of and then president of Unified Theater on Staten Island, collaborating with Lifestyle Center for the Disabled to foster full inclusion within the performing arts. She has served the Wagner community as both a peer leader and a summer conference assistant, as a member of the Society of Arts Administration Students and the Black Student Union, and she has interned at MAPP International Productions, planning culturally and socially conscious engagements, merging performance and critical dialogue. Carrie has been recognized for her incredible contributions with the MLK Agent of Change Award, the Distinguished Leader Award, and as a Port Richmond Community Scholar. This fall, Carrie will begin her graduate work towards a Master's of Arts in Theological Studies and Women's Studies at the Princeton Theological Seminar. Next, I will present Heather Wolf. Heather Wolf is a business administration major with a concentration in marketing from Pine Brook, New Jersey. Not only did she excel academically during her time at Wagner, her cumulative GPA is 3.97. She has left a legacy of student leadership at Wagner, a student athlete on the varsity cross-country winter and spring track teams. She also served as a resident assistant and a member of the Wagner College Community Standards Review Board, was a member in Alpha Omicron Pi, and was a member of the Marketing Club. Heather has been recognized on both the Dean's List and the NEC High Honor Roll nearly every semester of her college career, and was selected Homecoming Queen this fall. Last night at the Senior Awards Dinner, Heather was recognized with the Business Administration Award, the Sir Peter L. Carliello Award for Entrepreneurship, and the Dr. Donald L. Spiro Award for Outstanding Academic and Co-Curricular Achievements. She has numerous marketing internships at Clear Channel Communications, Nest Seekers International, Richmond University Medical Center, and has most recently worked as the multimedia producer for Wagner College. Heather is known on campus by her contributions as both a Hawk Talk blogger and as the founder of Humans of Wagner Instagram account. As for Heather's post-graduation plans, she is currently working for Wagner College as she graduated last fall, both in the Office of Communications and in the Office of Admissions. Let's give them a round of applause.
Good morning. Hi. To be honest, I'm a little nervous, so the only words in my head are the Serenity Prayer and what would Beyonce do? I would like to begin by thanking our board chair, Dr. Warren Prochi, our president, Dr. Richard Garassi, our provost, Dr. Lily McNair, honored guests, Dr. Aletta Diamond, Dr. Tim Gannon, and Dr. Wes Moore. Distinguished trustees, administration, faculty, and staff, you make this possible. Thank you. I'd like to extend a very special thanks to the friends and family and loved ones here with us today that have supported each of us on our Wagner plan. Specifically, my parents, my Wagner College Papa, Dean Curtis Wright, and the wonderful melting pot of Griffiths, Beatties, and Jelanis I have the privilege to call my friends and family. It is my honor to address you all. And most importantly, class of 2015, hello! Many of you know me as unconventional, the girl with voluminous hair that's a strange cross between braids and dreadlocks. You should have seen the struggle this morning as I tried to fit this cap on my head. It was ridiculous. Or the girl who has lived in Harborview Hall her entire college career by choice. Or the girl who is literally always in the first desk in the basement of the Horman Library, right outside the girls' restroom. My best friend Rachel Walker and I call it our office, along with the librarians. But many of you here with us today do not know me at all, so allow me to introduce myself. My name is Carrie Lee Alexander, and I am unconventional. Unconventional. Adjective, existing outside of what is generally done or believed. By taking 5 years to complete a 4-year degree, I think I fit the definition. But as you probably can relate, my experiences at Wagner College have taught me to be unconventional. Like so many, I came to New York lured by the bright lights of Broadway. My pre-Wagner life consisted of lessons, auditions, and all things Glee. But with monologue in hand, I soon realized that I did not have a voice. I spent so much time perfecting other people's stories that I never developed the voice to tell my own. That is, until I began my unconventional journey at Wagner. Do you remember when our parents or grandparents would tell us how they had to walk uphill in the snow and for added effect with no shoes just to get to school every day? Now, I don't know about you, but my family is from the Caribbean, so there were fewer hills and even less snow. But I listened and believed these stories were fables until I met my good friend Adriana Makula Hansen. Adriana came to Wagner College a newlywed, working at CVS to help pay her tuition. So when she wasn't tutoring other students, serving as the editor of the Wagnerian, or maintaining a 4.0 GPA, she was walking, like our parents, in the dark, in the rain, and yes, in the snow, just to get to work so she could stay in school. Through her unconventional Wagner plan, she taught me to question limitations. Expanding on this lesson through my Sister's Keeper, an advocacy group devoted to women of color, my fellow members and I quickly learned to challenge both internal and external limitations through our workshops, discussions, and visits to the young women at the African Refuge Center in the Park Hill, Staten Island community. We confronted our perceptions of the glass ceiling many African American women face. Our collective reflection, laughter, and many tears helped us begin to heal, push past those limitations, and gain the strength to embrace the things that make us unique. On this unconventional journey, I learned to disrupt the norm as I worked with the Wagner College chapter of Unified Theater, an organization fostering full inclusion within the performing arts. I've come to know that Wagner College has a history of creating graduates that disrupt the norm, which is evident in the work of Richard Salinardi, class of 1969, and co-founder of Lifestyles for the Disabled. During my sophomore year, Unified Theater partnered with Mr. Salinardi's center to create a remix of the Disney classic Cinderella. And that's where I met John, an avid Batman fanatic and participant from Lifestyles who fearlessly disrupted the norms of what Prince Charming should be. After countless rehearsals, the day of the performance arrived and in comes Prince Charming, dressed head to toe in a Batman costume. Let's just say our Prince Charming was a seasoned professional at saving lives and saved the Cinderella from the evil stepmother with remarkable ease. Now, Batman taught me that normal is overrated. And if you've been on campus for more than 30 minutes, then you have certainly heard of the Port Richmond Partnership. Some of you have tutored at El Centro del Inmigrante. Others have worked at soup kitchens through Project Hospitality, but it is there in Port Richmond where I found my voice. Through the Sound of Port Richmond, a creative arts partnership between Wagner College, Imagining America, and various dynamic community organizations, I learned to dismantle cultural imperatives. Through the bizarre theater exercises and communal meals, our dedicated group created a play about an interracial relationship entitled Sterling and Maria, challenging racial tensions in the area and boldly going against the grain. And as we look around the country, whether we visit Baltimore, Ferguson, North Charleston, or Tompkinsville, we can see that we need more tools on how to confront these imposed cultural imperatives. And one method I've learned on my Wagner journey to shatter these methods is to simply be who I am. What I've learned on this unconventional journey is that I have a voice, and it matters not because I'm special, but because collectively as a class, we are special. We are unconventional. We are skilled with countless academic honors, nationally accomplished sports teams, and a theater program ranked #1 in the nation. Yeah? And we are engaged with civic work recognized by the White House, a vibrant Wagner Cares organization, and a Black student union led by my friend and brother, Jared Williams. When he is not on the football team, he leads this assembly, and we collectively, unapologetically, stand in the face of adversity and tragedy, taking each breath with gratitude and honor of those who cannot breathe. We, my fellow graduates, are unconventional. By simply surviving 4 more years of higher education, we are now among a cohort of less than 7% of people in the world, people that hold a Wagner College degree, or a college degree. They wish they had a Wagner College degree. Our attendance here places us outside of what is generally accepted. We will be remarkable leaders, civic professionals, and groundbreaking change makers. But the work is far from over. In our final assignment, it is now our task, no, our responsibility, to take our oddities and abnormalities and change the world. And I don't mean the cliched change the world that we constantly hear at commencement. I mean actually change the world. Infiltrate uncharted territories, maintaining the curiosity of a child on your path to greatness. Liberate systems of oppression that shackle many to obscurity and question the humanity of every being that walks this earth. And celebrate and appreciate our differences, taking into consideration that we are all one of a kind and our voice is essential. And finally, if you didn't hear a word I said, if you took a little nap, welcome back. But I would encourage you to be thoughtful, deliberate, and intentional as you walk through life, suited with the armor of a Wagner College degree. And if nothing else, give yourself permission to be unconventional. Thank you.
Good morning, President Garassi, Dr. McNair, trustees, professors, honored guests, Dr. Tim Gannon, Dr. Wes Moore, and Dr. Aletta Diamond. Hello to all of the parents, friends, and families who have joined us today. Most importantly, hello to the class of 2015. Before I begin, I'd like to thank my amazing parents and 3 older sisters for attending one final graduation ceremony. This is my family's 10th commencement, and as fun as they are, I thought that maybe I should make things a little interesting for them. So hey, why not give a speech? I'd also like to extend a very, very special thank you to my 93-year-old grandma, who is also here. My grandma always emphasized the importance of enunciation and eye contact while public speaking. Grandma, I know that no one can deliver a speech as well as you, but I will certainly do my best to make you proud. A non-Wagner friend once said to me, graduation is the time where you look to either side of you and realize, I don't know half my classmates. That's not the case at Wagner. Some might argue it's simply because of the size of the school, but I know that's not the reason. It's because at Wagner, we actually take the time to get to know each other. There's a unity that brings Wagner students together that is difficult to put into words. But if you look around, you'll see it. It's that unity that inspired me to engage with the community here, and it's that unity that gave me the confidence to do it. While at Wagner, I became a fan of the popular blog Humans of New York. The concept is simple. A photographer walks the streets of New York City, introducing himself to strangers, taking their photos, and listening to their stories. Later, he posts a picture of the person online paired with a quote from their conversation. Each day, I found myself surprised and impressed by these incredible stories from these seemingly ordinary people. I began to think that Wagner could really benefit from a platform like Humans of New York. Wagner may be a small campus, but it is so full of diverse individuals with incredible stories. Stories capable of changing your perspective or bringing you to tears. Wagner's unity makes you feel safe and comfortable and capable of sharing your story. This Wagner unity was instilled in us from the moment we set foot on campus. When a swarm of talkative, caffeinated, and somewhat intimidating upperclassmen students grabbed our belongings out of our parents' overstuffed minivans and lugged them up 14 flights of stairs, just so we wouldn't be stressed out by one more thing on our first day of college. And then, faster than we could blink, we became the ones cutting our own summer vacation short to carry the items for the next group of wide-eyed students while insisting we never looked anything like them. This unity was reinforced just a few days later when we spent all night in the gym as Hurricane Irene pummeled Staten Island. But it was the best orientation we could have had. I excitedly walked into the gym with the few friends I had already made, and I walked out the next day with so many more. 2 years later, I had developed life-changing friendships with students from all different walks of life. But I was still curious to learn more about the students that I didn't get to see every day. I felt like there were so many lessons we could learn from each other if there was a way to share our stories with all of campus. This is what inspired me to create Humans of Wagner. At first, I didn't feel qualified to create something mirroring Humans of New York. I suggested the idea to a few friends who I knew excelled in photography, and their responses were all similar. Wow, sounds really cool, but I think you should do it. With the encouragement of those friends, I decided to go for it myself, and I'm so glad I did. Before Wagner, I would not characterize myself as someone bold enough to put herself out there and embark on this project. But after 3 years as a track and cross-country athlete, resident assistant, sorority sister, and occasional Completely Student Productions gala host, I felt empowered and ready for the challenge. Creating Humans of Wagner proved to be the highlight of my time here. I was able to listen to people's stories and, better yet, share them with the rest of campus. It was through this blog that I began to feel even more connected to the Wagner community. And I was finally given a reason to walk up to strangers and try to make new friends without looking like a crazy person. Creating Humans of Wagner proved to be the highlight here. As more and more people began to follow Humans of Wagner, I felt the Wagner community become more connected as well. Humans of Wagner emphasized something that all Wagner students do regularly, but perhaps never really put into words before. Wagner students see each other for more than what we do, but who we are. We are athletes, performers, educators, scientists, artists, businessmen, future lawyers and doctors, leaders and philosophers. We may be different in what we do, but we all have a piece of that same Wagner heart. It's that heart that inspires us to volunteer throughout the world, take part in Wagner Cares and the Port Richmond Partnership, donate our time and energy to raise funds for numerous organizations and foundations. It's with that heart that we cut our summer vacation short to carry those fridges up 14 flights of stairs. Wagner's heart is not visible in the photos posted on Humans of Wagner. The photos are just appearances. It's the stories beneath the surface, or in this case the post, that really matter. From looking at just those photos, you'd never guess that the tall, thin girl in your class is actually celebrating another month post-open heart surgery, or that the beautiful athletic student is balancing life as a young mom along with her academics and team commitments. You might never know that the confident man you see on campus with his boyfriend wasn't able to come out of his shell or his closet until he felt the embrace and support of the Wagner community around him. It's our stories that matter. The stories that led us to Wagner, the stories that we've created here, and the stories that we've yet to write but will start the moment we leave this campus. We arrived to Wagner with different backgrounds, different stories, different lives, different languages. I still think my best friend from Long Island is speaking a different language. We are different in so many ways, but our aims are identical and our hearts are open. We all aim for success, happiness, and purpose. We aim to do good in the world and to make a difference in our communities. Because of this, I have no doubt that our class will all go on to do great things in the world. We have learned so much from our professors, but more importantly, from each other. Our time here has shaped us into thinkers, dreamers, and doers. Some of us have focused our efforts on the Wagner community, while others have impacted the greater community. But as we graduate, I have no doubt we will all begin to impact the broader world. Because of who we are and who we've surrounded ourselves with these past 4 years, anything is possible. Believe in each other and believe in yourself, because Wagner College believes in you. So this speech isn't coming from Heather Wolf. It's coming from the class of 2015, the Humans of Wagner. It's about all the good we've done and all the good we'll do as our stories continue. My story now includes countless Oval days gazing up at Main Hall and wondering how I managed to end up in such a beautiful place. My story includes memories from orientation to Wagner Stock to senior week and everything in between. I'm looking at the Seahawks in front of me, and I'm realizing how sad it is that my friend at another school didn't know half her classmates. And I'm thinking about how lucky I am to say that my story brought me closer to the talented and intelligent graduates of 2015. I know them because I have a piece of their heart, because I know a little bit of their story. Everything we've accomplished and everything we will accomplish is due in part to the people sitting underneath this tent. I don't see strangers in front of me. I see friends, and I feel connected to each of them by that little piece of Wagner pumping in our chests. Congratulations, class of 2015, we did it!
Will the candidates for all master's degrees please rise? President Garasi, I have the honor to present to you for investment the candidates for a master's degree.
With the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees of Wagner College and in accordance with the laws of the state of New York, I hereby confer upon you the master's degrees for which you are qualified and extend to you our hopes and wishes for your continued success.
Will all the degree recipients please be seated? I I now have the honor to present individually those just awarded their master's degrees. The audience is requested to wait until all master's degree recipients have received their diploma before applauding. Would those degree recipients of the Masters of Business Administration please come forward? Barra Youssef S4. William F. Aston Reese. John Avona. Giuseppe Badalamenti. William Bradley. Matthew Burgos. Vincenza Gaggiano. Caitlin Chimienti. Maria Tomasini. Gabriel Velasquez. Kenneth James Whitman. Catherine Jordan. Annika Carlson. Allison Christine Kosich. David Lopez. Hayden Lance Pulauzi. Kevin Dobes. William Richards. Bonnie Negrone. Anupam Chumar Chobi. Courtney L. Collier. Nicholas DiMatteo. Alfonso S. Duhart Jr. Vincent Thurler. Vicky Sun. Alyssa Greco. Jillian Hennessy. Daniel Huff. Robert Joseph. Will the degree recipients of the Master of Science please come forward? Congratulations. Cecilia Ajan. Thank you. Congratulations. Hamza M. Al-Farshudi. Haitham Al-Ghamdi. Brittany Rose Ayala. Michael Beck Jr. Fayez Abed. Blake Bascom. Trevor Loveland. Matthew Cangrove. Sujan Kao. Carmel K. Syme. Alan Nino Palagilijan Cinco. Valerie Lafata. Amanda Ann Klesny. Rick Leong. Catherine Elizabeth Smith. Jacqueline Marie Simonson. Kara Michelle Clark. Brenna Marie Elizabeth Dean. Nicole D'Angelo. Stephanie Hannah White. Michael J. Hess. Nicole Gazzardi. Caroline Escobedo. Thomas Cruz. Evelyn Namonu. Tatiana Kativa. Sandra Joy de la Vega. Carolyn D. Nixon. Tulope Falana. Layla Ali Faraj Mirazaldi. Michael Keith Galband. Anthony Fumafrido. Eric Francomano. Daniel Joseph Golembi. Christina Neri. Jacqueline Fagoni. Nicole Marie Giacarino. Michelle Buffalino. Jennifer Tesoriero. Christina Perello. Ijoma Nika Amobi. Zlatko Vermo. Joseph Compitello. Diana DeLuca. Antonio Carmel. Nereus Magaria. Megan Pulowski. Anna Martinez Kim. Kylie Lilani Tanabe. Brianna Malvone. Kristen McCauley. Romina Gadaletta. Oh, sure. Amanda Farage. Shagra M. Creary. Thank you, thank you. Rana S. Alsaif. Deborah Berg. Antonetta Lamberti. Eden Stark. Judith M. Betts. Casey Alexa Caldwell. Megan Brown. Woo! Joseph Daniel Cuomo. Daniel Similuka. Jonathan C. Viveris. Seda Valiha. Jessen Venord. Thomas Voto. Anna Victoria Wickers. Mark Youssef. James Malloy III. Ann Gia Marnobly. Andrew John Piana. Tina Marie Patrizo Hughes. Joseph Picerno. Olesia Raylan. Laura Staples. Meredith Ward. Jacqueline Perez. Allison Calandra. Christina Sims. Anthony Silveri. Will the degree recipients of the Master of Science in Education please come forward? Alyssa Connors. Love your hat. Diana Nicole Cruez. Giovanna Dupre. Caitlin Fifield. Caitlin McGregor. Lauren Elizabeth Flynn. Emily Navarro. Taylor Fredrickson. Kyle Duggan. John Gazerwitz. Alana Gibbons. Amanda Aliotto. Laura Rose Carbach. Christina Barclay. Catherine Rose Clement. Tatum Colitz. Sanella Zuberi. Samantha Sidowitz. Sarah Signorelli.
There you go.
Renata Leigh Craig Vrono. Jillian Faith Perina. Teresa Maria Canigliaro. Please honor all of the master's degree awardees with your applause.
Mr. President, I have the honor to present to you Ms. Beth Cruz, class of 1971, President of the National Alumni Board, who will induct the class of 2015 into the Fellowship of Wagner College Alumni.
Congratulations, class of 2015. You've worked hard, and today you and your families are here celebrating under our very own Big Top. But what about tomorrow? You're going to get up in the morning and, hey, big deal, I graduated from Wagner yesterday. Maybe you'll have a party with your friends and your family. But what are you gonna do? Are you going to sit back, bask in your glory, and become complacent? Senator Cory Booker from New Jersey has said, in the end, I'm not as interested in what you have to tell or sell, teach or preach, as I am in how you choose to live and give. Wagner has introduced you to the civic engagement through the Wagner Plan. Now that you're on your own in a greater world, how are you going to choose to live and give? Wagner grads in years prior have found lots of innovative ways to give. Andrew Bailey, class of 2006, finds time off the field to volunteer with the Strike 3 Foundation. Along with his teammates, he raises funds and awareness to fight childhood cancers. For more than 52 years, Johnny Knudsen, class of 1957, volunteered on Staten Island with the American Red Cross and taught water safety and CPR. Carmine Cerullo, class of 1971, uses the spare hours in his week to help out at the Northern Virginia Food for Others, the largest distributor of free food to folks in need. Melanie Williamson, class of 2014, coaches basketball, attends grad school, and helps to raise funds for heart screening for student athletes. Henry Cruz, class of 1971, is planning to spend his summer volunteering with student athletes here in the Move Beyond the Bench program at Wagner. And rather than going home from work some nights, Ed Nikowitz, class of 1986, stashes his law journals and heads out to serve on his local school board and on the board of Autism Speaks. And I can't forget Ugo Wigwe, a brand new alum who has already gotten a start on the road to living and giving when she chose her mantra, "Don't ever settle." These alumni are not famous, nor are they rich in worldly goods. Their hearts, however, are filled with grace, and complacency is never in their vocabulary. We welcome you to the Alumni Association of Wagner College, and we delight in your arrival. But we need to ask you the question that Martin Luther King posed: what are you doing for others? We look forward to hearing amazing answers from you all. Will the class of 2015 please stand? Please move your tassels from left to right.
Please be seated. You are now alumni. It's been a very special day today. Some marvelous words all around for a wonderful class. Before we leave these premises and this event, let's thank three special groups that were and continue to be important to your achieving your dreams. First, please join me in acknowledging the dedication and hard work of the Wagner College faculty who are seated on either side of the stage. Secondly, let's recognize the dedication and support given to this college by its distinguished and hardworking Board of Trustees, chaired by Dr. Warren Prochi. And finally, please join me by standing and turning around to salute your families, particularly your parents who have supported you through your time at Wagner College. Thank you. Personally, Karen Garassi and I would be very saddened if we didn't constantly hear from you over these next few years. We all have social media. We all hope you'll come back to campus often and join each other in celebrating this wonderful community, Wagner College. We actually walk together forever. We invite everyone present today to join us after the ceremony for refreshments served under the tent at the back of the Oval. And will the audience please rise for the benediction given by Reverend Martin Malzahn, which will be followed by the alma mater, led by members of the Wagner College Choir, and please join in with them. I believe the words are on the back of your program. And then please remain standing until the procession leads us out to the outside of the tent, and then the faculty and the trustees will all gather at the end of this long tent here as you walk through to congratulate you one more time. Reverend Malzahn.
The context for today's benediction comes from the first lay president of Wagner College, Clarence Stoughton, in his 1935 inaugural address, and given again last night by class president Jessie Lynn Leston. It is our plan and purpose that Wagner shall not only set its seal upon the diploma of its graduates, but upon each life as well, so that there shall be a distinctiveness, a flavor about its product. There's a profound hope that this will show itself as an aptitude for spiritual and moral leadership. And so now may activists be blessed as they show us what matters. May artists be blessed as they show us beauty. Athletes and academics as they show us the discipline of mind and body. Priests, pundits, rabbis, imams as they show us how to care for our spirit. And those who would binge watch Netflix, that they would show us to relax. Go forth today, Wagner class of 2015. Be bold, be brave, be kind. Have faith in your Creator and compassion for your neighbor. Amen.
Amen.